Hello and welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going looking at camera cages for the Nikon Z8. So if you're thinking about buying a camera cage for your Z8, check this one out. Because today I'm looking at the Neewer CA041 Camera Cage and why I think this is not only amazing value for money, but it is possibly one of the best camera cages out there. So come on, let's get into it and I'll walk you through it and talk you through it. Now before I go any further, I should say Neewer did send out this camera cage for this review, but this video is not sponsored by Neewer. They had no insight into the video and they have not seen this video before the video was actually posted. Let's quickly pop the box open and see what you get inside. That's an instruction manual basically as such, and here we have the camera cage. Let's pop that bag open. Nice silica gel patch, one of my top 5 accessories for your camera bag, so make sure to keep those. And let's have a look here and see. So looking at the camera cage and some of the things I originally knew about this camera cage were we have a side clamp here for holding down your HDMI and USB cables, which is extremely handy, especially if you're running and gunning and whatnot. It's going to take the strain off the sockets on the camera, which is going to save your camera. The other thing is we have a side NATO rail and we also have a top NATO rail. We have a few ARRI mounting points too as well, and we also have our standard 1/4" mounting points. There's 4 on top, there is 4 on the side, there's 3 here, and there's another 3 here on the bottom too as well. The other thing you'll notice here too as well about the actual camera cage itself is the fact that we have this little flap here which opens and closes. Now the reason for that is so when you go to open the battery door, you can just bend this back and the battery door can physically open then. It's the same on the L bracket I have, we have this, but what it means is it finishes off the grip nicely on the camera. Some of the other camera cages I have don't have that there and there's a hole kind of underneath the camera grip and whatnot. It looks a bit more complete with it on it. But anyway, let's get the Z8 and pop it into it, see how it fits, see how it feels, and see how we get on. So here is my Nikon Z8, so I'm quickly going to pop this into the camera cage. First time doing this, so we'll see how easy it is. Now, the one thing I'm going to do here is, there is a little key on the bottom here, which is held in place by, it's held in place by 3 magnets actually, so that's better than the previous cage I had, which was only holding 2, I think. So, and there's a screw here then, which we actually screw into the tripod mount underneath the camera. But let me just pop this in first. So I'm just going to put this in position, and that's in. And what I can do is just screw this along here now, and that should, if I'm right, we should be able to screw this in along in a couple of seconds. And we're nearly there. Do one more and that's it. So fitting the Z8 to the cage was really straightforward. All I had to do was basically just screw in the bottom pin which goes in the tripod mount on the camera. Now there also is the option too as well of removing the eyelet here and actually fixing it on via that screw adapter there too as well. I normally don't do that because I like taking my Z8 in and out of the cage, but that is going to make it more secure. But there is little to no, even if I push that there now, there is little to no flex on that. So being completely honest, I'm kind of happy enough with that even as it stands. But straight away I can see those side clamps here for holding your cables are going to be incredibly handy. So just to go over the features again really quickly on this camera cage. We have the side clamp for holding the cables, we have a NATO rail on the side, a NATO rail on the top, we have 2 ARRI mounting points, and we have a load of 1/4" screw mounts. We have 2 cold shoes as well as the original one. We have camera strap holes or eyelets here too as well for fixing a camera strap onto the actual cage itself. And more importantly, and this is something I haven't mentioned already, which is why I'm going back to it, it also has an Arca Swiss mount on the base. So this will actually fit on an Arca Swiss tripod mount straight away, which is incredibly handy. And not only that, it's also fully compatible too as well with the DJI RS2 and RS3. That means there's no need for an extra quick release plate to be screwed onto the bottom, as it's fully compatible already. As a good few of you might already know, I have been using the SmallRig 3940 camera cage up until recently. And that was always my recommendation from people, that this camera cage was utterly brilliant. So why is the Neewer CA041 better than the SmallRig 3940? Well, there's 3 different reasons for that. So let's get into it and I'll explain them to you. So the first reason is price. And yes, that is one of the first things I always look at. The SmallRig 3940 Nikon Z8 camera cage is currently retailing for $69.99, whereas the Neewer CA041 Nikon Z8 camera cage is currently retailing at $59.99. And you might think, oh, there's $10 of a difference. That's good enough. But the good news doesn't stop just there. Neewer have also given me a discount code, and that discount code right now is actually worth 21%. So you get 21% off the price of $59.99. So it means this camera cage is going to be more than $20 cheaper than the SmallRig 3940. So straight away, the Neewer is winning in that department. Don't forget to check out the discount code, which I'm going to leave in the description down below too as well. So the second reason why I believe the Neewer CA041 is better than the SmallRig 3940 is the side clamp. That side clamp is going to take the strain off the HDMI and USB cables. So that's going to be very important. I know at the time of buying the SmallRig 3940 camera cage, it was also possible that you could buy a kit that would actually have the HDMI support with it. But that wasn't available at the time. So it's something I always kind of regretted. Whereas now I have it in the Neewer and it comes with it and it's still $20 cheaper. That's just nuts. The third reason then why I believe the Neewer CA041 is better than the SmallRig 3940 is really simple. The Neewer has 2 NATO rails, one on the left side and one on the top. The SmallRig only has one and it's on the side. Now, is it a complete deal breaker? No, it's not. But it is incredibly handy. And when you want to set up a run and gun rig and you just want to fly away, you can just simply slide on your side handle and slide on top handle and you're ready to go in seconds. And when you're taking the side handles and top handles on and off consistently, taking it out of the camera bags, that's something you're going to love, trust me. So this then brings us to build quality and which one is manufactured better. And in all honesty, when you have the two of them side by side, there is no difference in the two of them. They're both cast from a single piece of aluminium alloy, apart from the actual side clamp, because you can detach that and take it off if you don't want it. But otherwise, the whole thing is one unit. So as regards construction quality and build quality, they're identical. So for those 3 reasons, that's exactly why I'm shifting my recommendation to the Neewer CA041 camera cage instead of the SmallRig 3940. I'm not saying the SmallRig 3940 is a bad camera cage by any means, but this thing is incredible value for money. It has more features and it also has the side clamp too as well for your HDMI and USB cables. That's just fantastic. So this brings us to the question of, what do you think? Which camera cage would you buy? Or have you personally found a camera cage you're incredibly happy with? If you have, please let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. And finally, don't forget to check out the discount code, which I'm going to leave in the description down below too as well. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you out there and mind yourselves.